Hey, welcome to the Hinge Games live stream. Oh, my mic's in the way a bit there. Okay. So, what were we talking about tonight? Tonight was I wanted to talk a bit about status effects. My next big focus is going to be on mouse and keyboard support, and we got the game running on a Mac. It's pretty cool. Got a
Huh.
new Mac Mini. Jacques, I can hear myself through your
Yeah, I
speakers.
know. I stopped it. I had a little glitch.
Okay.
I think we're offset on the screen too.
Well,
And
you
I'm,
are.
I am. I will fix this. Is it this way? Yes. Almost. There we go. That's
We'll
better.
get there. There we go. First time back in a while, so.
Yeah. Nice to be back.
Yeah. All right. What
It
did
feels
you want
with
to talk?
us.
What were you going to talk about? Just weapon stuff.
Uh, I was going to, but I don't think I have a whole lot to show on this side. Last time we were here, Phil and I just kind of did these effects. We did
Mhm.
some yeah, which we haven't implemented yet. We haven't implemented the UI yet, so it's stuff we'll get to when we get to
Mm.
it. But yeah, I've just been doing some biz dev stuff, so it's like nothing sexy, but just kind of behind the
Yeah.
scenes stuff that we need
Yeah.
to
Very
do.
little work on the actual game.
Yeah, we'll get to it though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty soon. Like once I'll probably be done in the next, I think the 9th, September 9th
Hmm.
will be the last day before everything has to be wrapped up, and then yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and that's that.
Yeah. And I guess
Cool.
the other thing for me is like I'm starting a new contract, so I'm going to be putting less time into the game over the next couple of weeks too.
Mhm.
Yeah. Or a
Okay.
month. It's a month-long contract right now, so.
Yeah. It's nice to check in once in a while though, at least.
Well, no, I'll still be doing like work here and there where I can squeeze it in.
Yeah.
So.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
But yeah, so I think the next thing I'm gonna try and get working is like full mouse and keyboard support because like you can play it right now, but it's pretty janky. But we'll implement like proper tutorials and stuff for like playing with the mouse and keyboard, and we'll
Hmm.
update the combos to just be like the number buttons, like 1 through 5 or something
Ones.
like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be straight up Diablo style then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very much like
Yes.
Diablo.
So, what kind of changes to the controls are you doing for keyboard specifically?
Really the only one is just changing the combos to be on the gamepad. Everything else is like most of it already works. So like you run around, like I can control with mouse and keyboard now. Like if you click somewhere, you attack in that direction. If you right click, you switch to melee mode. Same thing, you face the direction of the mouse. And then like if you understand how the system works, you can type in like a combo on the keyboard. Like if I hit DWASD, then I can do
Oh,
but you have to like time it properly where you press D and then you press W and then you release D and then you press A and then you release W and then you press S and then you release A. You have to like time it so you're basically mimicking a 360 on the keyboard. Same way you
I
do like
see.
a Zangief throw or something like that.
Hmm.
And it's functional, but it's hard to explain and like because it's also directional. So if I want to go down, then I start with S.
Right. So that's not gonna fly.
Yeah, well, it's very hard to explain, and it's kind of clunky to do. So we'll just put it on like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 or something like that.
If you do F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, then that becomes the Diablo.
No, isn't it? Isn't it one, two,
Yeah.
three, four, five? Or no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the items, right?
Yeah, that's the mana and life potions. What F1, F2, F3 is
Oh, okay.
skills. Yeah.
But yeah, something
I
I
don't
want to
know.
talk about because somebody was recommending a bunch of stuff in the Discord, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh, well, we've actually done a bunch of things like that. So I thought I'd talk about some of the status effects stuff we have, like we have. And this is stuff not necessarily accessible in the demo, but it's stuff in the full game you'll be able to have access to. Like there's a grow thing that like makes you really big. It changes your health, so you have way more health. Well, it's not updated, and you do way more damage. Stuff like that. You don't move much faster, and we disable. You can't dodge while you're big.
Mhm.
So it has advantages and disadvantages. Same thing. There's a shrink. There's a little thing over here. Like a little thing you go through. The only way to get in there would be to shrink and go through that door. So I'll do that.
You know
Shrink,
what?
go through
I
the door.
totally forgot about a lot of this, about the shrink and the grow and the diamond when I was doing the UI stuff. I'm gonna have to make
Yeah.
icons for those.
Well, those are status effects. It's the same thing.
Yeah, yeah, but I don't. I forgot to put those into the
No, like
into the UI.
status effects into the UI.
Well, don't we have that little? Hold on a sec. I'll show it to you just because it's.
Because that's where all the status effects go. Like, if I get the bush one,
Yep.
that's where the icon goes for that. If I get the glasses one, that's where that one goes. If I get
Yeah.
turn into diamond, that's where that goes.
Yeah. For some reason, I totally forgot to put those in. I will have to make icons for them and find placements for them.
Diamond bush disguise.
Yeah. Yeah, it does a lot of. Oh yeah, I didn't even show like so. Okay, so when I use the grow, giant bush. But while you're big, you can like have these oversized things that you can do, like step on that because I'm big now, so it works. Same thing with this switch. You can only interact with these things. Ooh, I'll try to thing. So yeah, you can. These are things you can only interact with while big.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Lots of variety. So we'll have areas where you have to go, like, find a place to grow big in order to interact. Or there's, in one of the worlds, there's an enemy type that will shrink you with their attack, so you have to get hit by one of their attacks, then run through this little door, basically. And then, yeah, we have a bunch of different elemental types. So there's water guy. And basically, as long as this guy's in water, he keeps regenerating health. So you have to like get him out of the water. Or I'm not doing a lot of damage.
7. What's the zeros?
Bunches of zeros.
Yeah. Yeah. Are they zeros because they were in water? No, they took a bit of damage in there. Oh, maybe because they were blocking or something. Not entirely sure. Or was they just have not put anything in? And then... Yeah, these guys are all set up to not. I'll just disable combat. Yeah, because they're set up to not attack, just so you can so I can show off. Like this is the stone one. Fighting that guy. Oh, I ended the combat early. Actually, that's weird. We'll have to double check what's going on there, because the stone guy should only be able to be damaged by slam attacks, I think. So you have to do like a triple slam or something for one of these in order to damage them. Then there's the metal guy. These guys. Well, oh right, I disabled combat. Let me reload. Yeah, because I disabled combat, so of course it broke everything. So yeah, statue guy. Boom. All right, yeah. So everything just bounces off of him. But if I do a slam attack, I can actually damage them. But you can only do slam attack. So. That's those guys. And then we got the metal guys up here, which are pretty fun. Basically, yeah, they're similar. They're completely invulnerable, but if you manage to get them inside of some water, they start to rust and slow down. Come on. Ooh, I wonder if that's broken. I haven't tested this in a while. Might have to debug that.
Whoa.
Or it looks like they're stepping on top of the water. Maybe they're not actually ending up inside of it.
Can you just go into the water and they'll follow you in?
You can try. I think they're supposed to avoid it.
Oh, they looked like they were in the water there.
No, I think they're stepping on top of it. You can see them step up and down as they walk over the edge. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
Am I? Yeah, I'm stepping on top of it too. There must be, yeah, a collision problem with it. Because the other guys, the other water guys, are getting into the water.
You guys were playing with the water a lot.
Let's see.
Uh-oh, there's 2 of you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're watching the, I think you can watch my camera if you want to watch the live version. On Discord. Let's see.
Okay, yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. Alright, let's try this again. So if I walk over the water, yeah, I'm stepping on top of it. Hmm. Let's see what's going on.
Realize if you do a mouse and keyboard support, I'm probably going to have to do a slightly different UI for that.
Yeah, like for the different buttons for the special attacks and things.
Not just that. Well, we'll go over the UI afterwards. The controller UI, I guess. Aside from just adding the icons, there's a few more things we'll have to add.
Mhm. Okay, yeah, that's interesting. Okay, yeah, they're getting hit by the rest.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Because basically, what's happening is the water gets the collision on the water changes depending on if time stop has been activated. So it should be, yeah, it's query only, no physics collision. Hmm. Dynamic collision. Wonder. Let's see where that's set up. A little bit of live debugging here. Freeze. Breakpoint there, and then see what happens when I first play it. Alright, so it doesn't actually get called. Hmm. And these are set to custom world dynamic. Or query only, so no physics. So it shouldn't actually. I guess I could try changing that to the default for that, no collision. See if that fixes it. Okay, yeah, that fixed it. That's weird.
Nice.
Yeah. That's it. And then you just knock these guys into the water. And then they just kind of gradually, I think as soon as they exit the water, they sort of stop rusting, but they're stuck in a state, and they can actually be damaged. So if I hit that guy, they can actually be hit. But if you get them, like, if they stay in the water for long enough, then they, like, completely stop moving.
So I have
There they go.
to show them sort of in a... Oh, there you have the effect, the rust effect on there.
Yeah. And yeah, they go from, like, invincible to taking more and more damage the longer they stay in the water. So, but as soon as they're in it for, like, even a split second, then you can start damaging them.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'll probably have to... I think I'm going to really spend some time in the next little bit really juicing everything up. Getting the hit reacts looking more juicier.
Yeah, making them pop a bit more.
Yeah, getting all the stats effects going on.
Alright.
I spent zero time on any of this stuff, and it's I'm starting to realize how important it is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then we have the fire guy. Very similar. He's on fire. If you hit him into the water, it douses the flames. And these guys can be damaged normally, but the fire, if you walk into them, you take damage, and they regenerate health as long as they're on fire.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Guys into the fire.
No, geez.
Oh, and the other thing that'll happen. So if they stand next to another guy that's on fire, then they should catch fire.
Oh, that looks really annoying.
Let's see if I can get this guy to catch fire again. Oh, he's getting hot. He's getting hot. Yep, there he goes. He's burning. And that's.
They also do a lot more damage, or is it just the area of effect damage?
We can balance that. Like it's basically if you run into them, you take damage, and then other than that, they're just normal. But we can easily, like the way we set it up, we can say they're like 10 levels higher than they're supposed to be.
Diamond. This will be fun.
And the other thing too is these guys.
Disabled.
Oh right, boy. Oh no. Yeah, combat disabled falls. Okay, good. But the thing is too, like, cause this is a status effect actually that we're adding to these guys.
Yeah.
Oh no, I have charge unlocked. This could be okay. That shouldn't be that bad. Oh great. So first I need to disable. Oh. So first I need to disarm him, get rid of his melee weapon, and then I need him to attack me with his ranged attack. There we go. Disabled. He's gonna pick that up pretty quickly though.
Diamond is another diamond.
Yep.
He just picked it back up.
Yeah.
Oh, that worked for nothing.
There we go. Oh. Oh, come on.
He goes, picks it up again.
Oh. If I should just maybe remove that. Remove his melee weapon when he spawns. Oh, I got him!
One reflect, that's all it takes, eh?
Yeah, it depends on the guy and how much damage. I guess maybe I wonder if I modify that, because I think I had to do it like twice before. Oh, he's taking damage though, actually. I gotta check that, because he should not be taking damage from my attacks.
Nice.
I'll have to debug that too. Why is he taking damage?
Can you get the diamond status effect ever?
Oh yeah. There's you can get it here. Now I'm diamond.
But now you can just whoop his ass.
I could. Oh, actually, I don't know if it affects. Let's see if it affects my. No, it doesn't affect my weapons. Just me. So now this. Oh, and these guys don't have weapons to attack. So. Well, that did not work out at all. But yeah, we have a few places where you can get. So yeah, in the demo or in the early access dungeon stuff, you can already get the bush and the glasses. And even the shrink, because there's a certain enemy type, the birds, I think, if they attack you, if you get hit by their ranged attack, it shrinks you. And then there's certain places in the game where you can get grow, and then diamond. There's the consumable shop, basically, if you guys know what that is. So
okay.
And you can get also the metal one. So, and I think you might be able to get a fire one there too. So like, yeah, just like, so those are all status effects that we give the enemy, so we can give that to any enemy. We can also give it to the player. So you can turn yourself into a fire elemental or a metal guy or a statue.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I have to make all those icons.
Yep. I mean, it's just icons. It's not that big. Not that big a
I'll
deal.
actually kind of quickly. We'll go over a little bit of maybe what I have to do with the. Well, first we have to implement the controller UI, and then we'll switch over to the mouse and keyboard UI as well.
Yeah,
It seems like a lot of the feedback I'm getting is the UI needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
The the hit reacts need to be done, and the VFX. Like those are the thing, and the biggest thing on my side.
Well, because you're done, like, because there's a flash when you hit guys, right? There's a hit flash that we did.
Yeah, but I think it's not like I think I'm gonna flash them completely white. We have a Fresnel flash. I think I'm just gonna be like make a full like 8-bit flash white, make it look like it's Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
There's a few more things of timing I'm going to have to look into. I'll probably have to study it, like some other those old 8-bit games that do it really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the guy. If he hits you, you shrink. Oh, and combat was disabled. Great.
Sounds like if he hits you, he disappears.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. Let's see. So this is kind of an interesting challenge where it's like you have to get in a fight with one of them. You have to let one of them hit you. Or you have to like kill all but one of them and then wait for one of them to hit you. There we go. Oh, that did enough damage to just straight up kill me. Maybe I should spend some of those points, huh?
Yeah.
I love that they're bubble
There we go.
ones. That's so fun.
And they grow because their special ability is they have the charge attack, same as you. So like when I charge up, they have the set. That's why they grow. That's why one guy's is bigger and the other one's smaller. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like, you can see he's doing
you
the
can
charge.
see them like winding out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to go over for status effects. Like, we built a pretty robust status effect system, so we can do a lot of crazy things. Like, all the food stuff is status effects, so whenever you pick up a different piece of food, it's a status effect that'll, like, increase your damage, or attack speed, or run speed, or armor. It could do a ton of different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so can I share my screen? I'll show you a bit of
Sure.
what's probably gonna be in store for the.
Here we go.
We'll do a live brainstorming session. Okay, so the way this works with controller was right trigger will switch you over to the melee mode, I
Melee
guess.
mode, right? So that would be right mouse button.
Yeah. So, but the thing is usually for something like that, you don't want to have you probably just want to display the two of them at all times.
What do you mean?
Yeah, because they're not something that you swap between like you are on the console, right? You don't press right trigger to swap between it. What you would have to do is we'd have to have both of them kind of displayed at the same time, one with the left mouse button, one with the right mouse button.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah.
Right. So then that kind of changes you.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
And then of course, like if we display all of these like UI bits, like because this is supposed to be the down RB is supposed to go cycle through the different ones, but if we just toggle them to F1, F2, F3, I kind of have to display all of them up here.
Oh no, that's because that's not the same thing though. 1, 2, and 3, that's for your special attack. So that's when you do your cleave or your leap attack or your crescent volley. That's what those will do.
So they're not even going to be displayed then. Okay.
Yeah, they don't need to be displayed necessarily.
Okay. And then I just have to add more of these icons. These are all the status effect icons. These are the
Oh, that's what you had up there?
Yeah, so
for
this
your
is
status effect.
Yeah. No, this is you have bounce.
Oh, this is for your unlocked abilities icons.
Yeah, the whirlwind, whatever. So I think these were the status effects. You move twice as
Okay.
fast, you hit twice as hard. So then I just have
Okay.
the diamond, the fire, the yeah, put all the other
Yeah.
stuff here, the Groucho marks.
Well, because there's the thing is like I don't know if you could just have symbols like that because there's times on them, right? Too when you pick up food, it's like, oh,
Mhm.
this one will last 5 minutes, this one will last two
I could put
minutes.
a number underneath it. I could put
Yeah.
another number
Okay.
underneath it, or I could do I don't know, like it's on there and we could start blinking it when it's like more rhythmically till it goes out. There's ways to
Yeah.
do it, but
Yeah.
I could do the colored ones. I could
Hmm.
also do the colored icons if that's I just find
Yeah.
that when it becomes like this giant mess of colors, you
Hmm.
have to really play the game a lot to know what they are.
Yeah.
It's
For
not, it
sure.
doesn't come. But then again, like, I mean, you start off with nothing, right? You start off with
Yeah.
none of these things,
Well,
and
the
then you
other
get
thing
them
too
one
is
at a
like
time.
because you have like the X and Y are taking up a lot of space right now, and they don't need to take up that much space. Like
Yeah,
I
they
don't
were,
even think we need them.
no.
No, because like those are altis, right? And it's like
Mhm.
I guess they there is a cooldown in between them,
Yeah. So that's what
but
so here's the reason the buttons are the size they are is
well,
because
it's not that they're the size they are. It's that like we don't.
well,
It's it's more. It doesn't matter if you see them in your UI.
really?
It's worth having them to see that you have the ability, same as
Mm.
every other ability, right? Like up there where you
Yeah.
have
But you also want to
the
know what
bomb and the
level.
bounce and
You
everything.
also want to know what level it is. You also want to know, well, because the thing is, when you have console games, if you could like refer to Zelda,
Hmm.
they have their buttons up all the time. Uh, like they actually
Yeah,
show you the
but they don't
controller
have
with the
what
button.
level it like I don't think it's important to know what level it is on the fly necessarily though either, right? Because
Yeah,
like
but I mean, it's it's there.
yeah. Well, the
Like
thing
when
is like if we're
yeah.
talking about like real estate and things like that, like I think I'd rather have the status
Mhm.
effects be that big because when a status effect pops up, like that's more important when it's like, oh, you're walking really slow or something
Got
weird
it.
is going on. That should
Got
take up
it.
a bit more real estate than kind of a static.
Okay.
This is an ability thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I could probably do is I'll swap this over to the other side. I'll
Mhm.
swap these buttons over the other side, shrink it down. So the thing is like, where are these buttons? Specials? Yeah. So I could probably move these over here so they all fit in here. Edit. The only problem about the thing is like these things are kind of like permanently there for the most part.
Mhm. Well,
And the
that's
status effects are only temporarily there when you use them. So it's like
mm,
sometimes you'll have nothing there. But
mm. Well, the thing is too. I would like it's not that you use a status effect. It's like you get hit by something, you'll get a status effect around. It's
yeah,
not necessarily a voluntary thing.
I mean, I could always just shrink it down if you need to, but I mean,
Mhm.
I just put it there for now just because I figured, oh, we'll just match it up to here and then the bar and all the other stuff. It's like the second part of the UI goes there.
Mhm.
And it doesn't actually take up a huge amount of the well, actually it kind of does.
Yeah, I mean, it takes up. The thing is, like, if you compare it to what I have now, because
Mhm.
basically, because you have it, what you have now is smaller than what I have now, but I also have the status effects that dip down below where the gold is, right?
Hold on a sec. Get rid of this. So edit, copy.
And you might need to lower it down a bit because it's right at the edge of the frame, and you need to say frame
Yeah,
for UI elements.
right. Yeah. Well, it's almost the same size, roughly ish.
Yeah, but no, like what I'm saying though is
Yeah.
in the original, you're
Yeah.
missing. You don't have any status effects right now, so you're missing some items there. It's actually the original is a lot bigger
Well,
because it can have status
all the
effects.
status effects would have been all these ones here. So I just would
Mhm.
have made all these small icons that just kind of go across the
The
status effects.
the other thing too is it would probably be better if there was space for more status effects, like if you could have six of them on at a time or something.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll probably put them all up to here and have like a row
Mhm.
of a second row here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
it's a
it's
work in progress.
I definitely recommend against doing that because that just makes it way more complicated to set up. Because right now, basically, it's in what's called a horizontal box,
Hmm.
and it just always like aligns them to the left. And then if you remove one, it just slides everything over to the left. But there's not
Yeah.
really anything that will do that in multiple rows. If we want to do it in multiple rows, then it's a bunch of extra coding to do. So if we could have them all in one single row, that would be way simpler from a coding
Okay.
standpoint.
And what about these interactive ones? Move them completely, or
Uh, like
because
I don't.
the thing about UI that I'm learning is the big thing about makes it easier to read. Like because you have a giant line of these across, is you
Mhm.
have to group them in certain ways so that you realize these are the interactive ones.
Yeah.
The items basically that you get, and these are the
Hmm.
ones that are power up based that you have temporarily, so that you know that
Hmm.
these belong to a certain group. So it's like, but having them like this becomes kind of unreadable. Like you don't know what it is, and it just
No,
kind
no,
of
yeah,
becomes
I understand
yeah.
that, but the thing, yeah, because it's just with the ulti stuff, because like we refer to those as the ultimates, like it's time stop, it's
Yeah.
images, and
Yeah.
then, but it's also you have a group with block for some reason.
I have a what? Yeah.
You have a group with block
Well,
for
there's just
some
kind of
reason.
the active skills.
Yeah.
So these are the
Well,
active.
yeah, because the other ones up here, like it is complicated because like the spin, you have the block for the push, and it's
So
like well those
spin.
two, and there's because there's the leap attack as well, right?
Yeah.
And it's like
Uh,
those are special attacks, but then you
yeah.
have the ranged ones here, and then you have the timer there. I don't know.
Which one? The ranged one?
Well, because you have time stop, explosive shot, bounce, and then but
Yeah, because
like
these are the kind. I guess what were they? What do I call them? Not the what do I call them in here? Not the specials. They're the. I guess you could call them passive skills.
passive skills.
Well, kind of, because they just. I mean, so they're just you activate them, but no. What do I call them? I
They're
guess they're like
unlockable.
yeah, the unlockables more or
Yeah,
less. Once you have it, you have it. Yeah.
which all of these technically are, right? Even block, images, times all the LTs and the block and everything. That's unlockable as well.
Yeah, but this is more like you have it and then it becomes like you have it the skill here. You know what I mean? Like you have to activate it by putting it on the well, maybe
You
I don't
turn
actually need it. Maybe I don't
Well,
need it
so
here.
that's the thing is like so there's if you want to group it, then the groups you'd put it into are melee, ranged, and ultimates.
Hmm.
So you would have you'd have your ultimates in one group, you'd have your
Yeah.
melee special attacks in one group because that's
Hmm.
leap, cleave, and spin, and then
Yeah.
you'd have your ranged styles,
Yeah.
which you just toggle
Yeah.
or you cycle
So
through.
yeah, so that would be these ones here. Like
Hmm.
the
Yeah.
ranged ones would be so we it's kind of redundant having this one here and the block shot here because that'd be the second one once you press RB. And
Hmm.
the third, yeah, so that would be this. And
Well, the
then,
reason, because like I
yeah,
don't know if there's a way of doing this without having any redundancy, but the whole point is like you need to quickly glance. Like if you have multiple players, you need to quickly glance and see which one actually
yeah.
has
That's why I put
the
this up
ability.
here, so that you can quickly
Yeah,
glance to see who has which one.
yeah,
But in terms of activating it, that's what this was supposed to be for when you play it.
hmm
But this was to see who has which skill. It's
yeah,
kind of a bit redundant, but the other way to do it is to have these open all the time, have them kind of active all the time. Just
hmm
so I have, rather than having like toggling between four, I just put four small icons here. That
hmm
might be easier, but and then
Well,
they're just
that's the
yeah,
thing though, is
yeah,
because you were saying you were grouping them a certain way, and you have so you have one ulti here. So like if you want to group them, then we can group them, but you're just kind of mixing and matching a lot of things here.
yeah. So this was kind of the redundant part that
Hmm.
we needed to show because we want to see who had the skill. But if let's get rid of this, right? Well, these ones anyway. And then
Hmm.
I were to make these smaller, so you have the explosive shot here, the bounce shot here, and the whatever shot
Hmm.
here, right? Like
Hmm.
all the specials for pertaining to the range attack will be here, and then when you toggle to the
Hmm.
melee, uh, all of the specials are on the side here. So basically,
Hmm.
it's either inactive or it's not there when you don't have it. So this is leap attack, whirlwind, and
Yeah.
cleave. So then you
Hmm.
meet like uh I don't know how immediate it is to see if somebody has a skill, if it's just on the
Hmm.
side here. I'm
If
also
it's
not
hidden
sure if
there.
I love this layout because like you don't often have all three. And if you have none
Hmm.
of them, then do I just have like a blank space here? So that's what I'm kind of wondering if this is the best layout
Hmm.
for this, or if I
Yeah.
should include this into there. And of course, if maybe I should just show them all the time because then we don't have to do two different UIs for the console and the controller and the
Mm-hmm. The
mouse and
keyboard.
keyboard. Because if it's up here, then I can just put F1, F2, F3 in the corner here, right?
Yeah.
And then we can just also see what it is. And then
Again, it'd be 1, 2, 3. It wouldn't be F1.
oh,
Yeah.
sorry, yeah, 1, 2, and 3 here, and then the melee would be I mean the ranged would be this. It'd be kind of the same layout.
Mm-hmm.
Or I think for no, I think for mouse and keyboard, I'm gonna have to display both. I'm gonna have to like move everything over and touch and display both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? We actually really don't even really need this. Like I could probably just
Hmm?
make a joint icon for this. You don't need a toggle between them. You just need to say that one side is ranged. It's just a visual for range. The other visuals for melee. Right trigger, left
Mhm.
trigger, right. Oh,
You
left,
could
right click.
when you click one of them, it could switch to that image,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like to show that that's like the one you're
The thing,
using
the thing is,
currently.
like, we don't need for mouse and keyboard. Like, we're going to have tutorials that explain how to do this on a mouse and
Mhm.
keyboard. And
Yeah.
so it's like, and especially for something like in Diablo, do you have right mouse button and left mouse button
Yes, you
as
do.
icons in the UI? Yeah.
Yes, you do for sure.
Because it seems like a kind of thing where
Well,
it's like
on the
you're
icon.
doing that enough that you don't need to tell the player what it is. It's like having an icon constantly on the screen in a first person shooter that says click to shoot.
Yeah. So the way it works is this is your left, oh, and this is your right, I think. So you have regular attack. Where the heck was it? So this is left attack, this is right attack. Left click, right click.
Yeah, but they're not labeled.
Uh yeah, they're not labeled left click, right click. But I
Yeah.
mean for the PC version, I would do that. I would do something similar to this where it'd be I would kind of just even split this in half and just have
Yeah.
like a ranged weapon and a melee weapon because they don't have to be active or toggleable, and then that way
Mm-hmm.
I'll just have all
Like
of the
I get the like we don't have to do that. Like I'm trying to save us budget here, and it's like we
yeah,
don't necessarily have to do that.
yeah. But the thing is, we do have to show like the other thing is we do have to show the toggling of the melee weapon and the toggling of the ranged weapon.
But we show which one you're currently using, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So
we'll
that
already have that functionality for the controller inputs, but we don't
mhm,
necessarily need to show that in the UI and have a complete like I get that you want to do all this really cool stuff, but like there's points where we can cut corners and I think this is an easy win in terms of like cutting a corner and just having like right mouse button there instead of or a right mouse button image there.
all right,
Instead of completely redoing the UI for PC, like we'll try and
for
make it fit
sure,
as best we can
for sure.
rather than just like yeah,
Yeah.
completely redesign everything
Okay.
because we don't have you're not a UI artist. We don't have a full time UI artist. There's
Yeah.
a ton of things I'd rather you be doing than
Yeah.
figuring all this stuff out.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll scrap all these icons up here because oops, not that. Let's grab all these icons up here. And then what we'll do is I'll make these buttons smaller so that we label kind of all the special ranged attack stuff here
Mm-hmm.
with it. Yeah. Okay. And then yeah, then we can do the
Okay.
toggle between left and right, whatever you're using.
Mm-hmm.
And just the only, I guess, UI difference will be this little down D-pad
Mm-hmm.
button will be a left click but icon.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can just well
Yeah,
no,
that
because
makes
that's not
sense.
what that does.
Right. Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
true. That's right. That's a toggle down.
hmm.
Wow.
I'll be right back.
The down on
Yeah.
the D-pad changes
Yeah.
which weapon you're using.
That's
Not
right.
melee or range, but it'll switch between the javelin and the crossbow and the cannon.
Yeah.
Or if you're in
Okay.
melee range mode, it'll switch between the spear,
Yeah.
the dual swords, and the heavy sword.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's not even important if we show that or not.
Mhm. Yeah.
Cool. And so yeah, got rid of the icons. Just make sure I do this. Okay, I think we're good.
Yeah. And then what did
Cool.
you have for the level up stuff?
Oh yeah, so the level up stuff. I think this was a while ago. It just kind of this thing pops up.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing as the grouping things. I wanted all the active skills like this. All the melee skills will be in here, and the range skills. It's pretty much more of a visualization of
Okay.
what we're making. So it's basically you go
Mm.
left and right to go kind of toggle between this entire
Yeah.
thing,
So yeah,
and then you go
that's not how I
to
break it up, but yeah, I get what you do it because it's basically there's 3 range, 3 melee, 3
yeah.
alties. There's 3 like passive defaults, so that's health, stamina, and damage.
Mhm.
and then there's 3 crits. So there's like pierce crit, damage crit. There's basically 3 of each,
Perfect. Yeah.
and then there's charge attack is the only special one.
Okay.
It's in its own class. Like if you look
Okay.
at
Yeah.
the shop, the
Mhm.
respec shop, that'll show you all of the things,
Okay.
and they're actually grouped there fairly well.
Oh. Okay. I'll redo this. This is just a bunch of boxes anyway.
Mm.
The other thing I just wanted to do was like want to color coordinate between like the ranged, like range to be blue, melee to be
Mhm.
red, passive to be yellow, and I guess the other one will be crits. Will be
Mhm.
I'll pick another color in there,
Okay.
orange or something.
Sure.
Yeah, it just
Cool.
it's better to kind of build up that visual language that something means, like this color means something, and so that way,
Mhm.
whenever we see the blues, we know that these pertain to ranged, I guess, and
Yeah.
red pertains to
Yeah.
melee, and then we'll just kind of keep on building off of that whenever we need to.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
cool. So yeah, I'll redo the
Okay.
make these lines smaller. Passive, ranged, active, and crits and charge.
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Well, I guess we could throw charge and active, right? It's kind of an active skill.
Well, it's
It
not
makes
because I wouldn't have active skill as a category.
okay. Well, okay. What would you call it?
Well, what's in that? Those are your
I'll
because I
look in the
guess
store.
special attacks is already used. I refer to them as ultimate attacks. So that's your quake attack, your but even the, yeah, I'd probably put it with those because it's optionally unlocked and it's unlocked later in the game.
Yeah.
And I would put it
Okay.
either there or with the default stuff. I guess we'll leave the default stuff as it's on its
Okay.
own. Yeah.
Okay. I'll get to that after.
Good.
Yes. Spin it to active. Yeah. Well. Okay. I'll do that after the stream.
Yeah. Don't need to do that live.
Yeah. So yeah, this is more or less how the system would work. It just lay them all out like
Mm-hmm.
this, and you toggle with the D-pad, and hopefully this looks like enough of a D-pad that people will know. And the
Mm-hmm.
second part is it's also much more obnoxious. Rather than having
Yeah.
people just keep playing and not realize they leveled up, they had now have something that
Yeah.
occupies a massive part of their
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
dude,
And it
level
says
up your
level up.
stuff.
Yeah.
I think you actually had like the level up, and people still ignored it, but
Yeah. Well, it doesn't actually say level up. I think it's a big yellow arrow that pulses.
yeah.
But yeah, if you skip that tutorial, then you don't know what it means.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. All right. So where was this? I put this thing up top. There it is. We'll delete this thing. Okay. Cool. So yeah, we'll work on the UI whenever we both have a bit more time.
yeah, because that takes both of us to figure out because you're gonna have to export everything as individual things
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
Unreal,
but
and then I'm gonna
also
have to.
kind of go over to make sure that I'm not missing stuff. I figured I was missing stuff, so like icons
Mhm.
and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because the thing with a lot of the icons, like they're the
Mhm.
way the system is set up. There's like
Mhm.
basically there's a there's a data table in Unreal. I guess I can open that up.
Mhm.
I'll show you right now.
Sure.
It is yeah. So
I'll actually have to, because this is just purely for display. There's a lot more
mhm,
icons I'm probably going to have to make. Like I probably have to make, if
mhm.
I'm going to label the spin attack level 8, I probably have to make, I don't know if you do that in the engine or if you want me to like make a button for this to pop up with it.
Uh, a lot of that'll be just be text anyway, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll put it in and see. So blueprint data table, ability info data table. I
Hmm.
think yeah. So basically, for each ability, we have this data table, and it's just like if you swap out what the health icon is
Hmm.
everywhere in the UI, it uses this icon. So whatever we change that to, it's so you just need to change them all in this sheet, and it's all of the different abilities. And
Okay.
it's whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's the description in there. It's basically all the information.
I'm keeping most of just what we bought
Mm-hmm.
just because I
Well,
don't
I think
feel like making a whole bunch of icons.
okay, because some of the stuff, like a lot of it, is just like I think that, like, does this make sense for knockback? Probably not really. I wouldn't say so. Charge, maybe that kind of works for charge. Health, yeah, that's fine. Stamina, kind
I
of.
don't know enough about UI to say, but one thing I
Evasion.
will know is that playing enough World of like Warcraft 3 or World of
Mm-hmm.
Warcraft, You see an icon and you just get used to it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Am
that
I
was
wrong?
definitely
But like,
something that happened a
no,
lot
not to dis-
playing
not
early Dota, is like I had no idea what any of the icons actually were. I was just like,
yeah,
yep, that's the icon for crit. That's the
yeah.
icon for this thing. That's the icon
And
for Stormbolt. That's whatever.
Yeah.
as
It's
long as
kind
the
of blue. I
colors,
think that's it.
as long as it looks cool and the color kind of you correlate the color with it or
Yeah.
the shape.
Yeah, exactly. As long as it's distinct enough from all of the other icons that you can pick it out, that it's, yeah, it's good.
Mhm.
But if that's what we're going for, if that's the style we're going for, then that's the style we're going for.
Yeah.
Because you can't really do a mix and match of like the white ones like you had, and then then those, right?
Well, this is the speed up, this one, the diamond. I did want the status effects, the temporary status effects to kind of be its own thing though. Because I don't really
Oh yeah.
want them to be in the I want them to be kind of like look much different and
Hmm.
occupy a different if we can occupy a different area of the
Hmm.
UI. If not, I'll
Well,
make do with
if
what
you
I got.
like, do you have any ideas specifically about where they'd be up, what they'd occupy?
Probably just right here if I can. If not, we'll figure it out.
Okay. Because, yeah, like I said, at least six, because there's not really a limit to how many status effects you can have active at the same time.
I'll stack two of them,
So,
or I can make them
yeah,
smaller. I don't really care.
yeah,
Like it's just
okay.
as long as they're kind of a bit out of the way, or even now that we killed all the
Yeah.
icons,
The other
load them
thing,
all up
too,
here
is
too.
just because we have a lot of extra information there. Like, remember, Julian didn't understand that, like, okay, the food lasts 5 minutes, and there
Mhm.
is, like, a thing that counts down, like a gradient that, but it was moving so slow that he didn't even realize it was there. So then we
Yeah.
added the timer. So, like, are
Mhm.
we going to need space for a number under each one
Sure.
to be like, well, this is okay, you have 5 food status effects active at the same time, so you can see the timers for all of them.
Yeah. So let's just
And is it going to be legible?
yeah, let's just do this. Let's go like this. Kill the drop shadow. Duplicate this. Let's just say you wanted six roughly, more or
All right,
less.
8. Yeah, give it a
Eight.
shot with 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, well, then we'll just shrink all these down so that it kind of matches like this ending here. There to there.
I guess the thing too is we could scale them based on how many there are.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's, yeah, maybe. So, I just do that, and we put the number underneath, but then we probably have to, you know, I don't know if you want to do minutes or just straight up seconds, like it's going to take up 237 seconds or whatever.
Well, no, we have minutes right now. Is what's in there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like 116.
yeah.
Of course, that's like, oh, what? I picked a wrong font. Never mind. Yeah, we'll figure that out from
But
there.
yeah, I think like honestly too, like the whole thing
Yeah.
with the BX and Y abilities, I don't
Yeah.
think they need to be this big.
Yeah. Okay.
Because like none of your other abilities, you won't see what level they are in the UI anyway.
Yeah, they do. They see. Well, I have them here, like level
Oh yeah,
12.
and then for the melee ones too.
I will have them. Like that's just.
Okay.
I didn't put it in,
Yeah,
but yeah, I just.
because
So
yeah,
I see what level
I don't
everyone's
think you
at.
need to see the level when you're
Mhm.
just running around.
Uh, sure, if that's your call.
Maybe here when you're leveling up, sure, but
Mm-hmm.
because you can always just go back and respec, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not like I don't expect a lot of people to be min maxing like okay yeah this is level 34 blah blah blah, and it's not like important information that you always need to be looking at,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's
Well,
what we could.
I'm just curious. Do they feel like I should know this? But no, they definitely don't show it on D. Feel like I should know this, considering how many bajillion hours I placed on this game, but no, yeah, they don't show it. Okay.
Mm.
All right.
Yeah, and like yeah, if there were like if there's certain points where it might be worth putting the level if we had like what is it? Like certain things like Dota, it kind of makes sense where there's four distinct levels for each ability, and it's
Yeah.
very important to know, oh, there's actually different effects.
Yeah.
But for us, it's very granular, and it's like we don't have a level cap. So yeah, you have level 88, a level 88 ability there, and it's like it's not like you need to know the difference between that and whatever.
Yeah, like
And
87 to 88, there's not a big difference. So
yeah, and even like 80 to 90, there's probably not a massive difference. And
Yeah.
it's more like I'd rather players not think about that while they're out in the world. It's stuff they can think about while they're back in the hub.
Fair
Uh,
enough. Kill the
yeah.
yeah,
levels.
So yeah, you can like well the only reason I'm saying that is like yeah, you can shrink those ones down a lot. Like they're pretty big right now. You can probably make
Yeah.
them the same size
the like
as the melee
those
ones.
those four abilities, they're your ultimates or whatever.
Well,
Yeah.
three of them are your ultimates, and then one of them is just block. Well,
Okay.
block also block turns
Charge.
into charge if you get the
Oh,
upgrade.
I see. I would stick those up on the top next to your name,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then have status effects across the whole bottom.
yeah, that would give a lot more space.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's a good idea.
Just because you freed up that space.
Hmm.
Hold on a sec. Where are we? Specials.
And the status effects, I think, are pretty important.
Yeah. I don't know
So
how
I
big the
think they should
name.
be a little bit bigger than than you have them right now. But
Yeah,
um, yeah, I don't know.
that makes sense. Put these over here like this.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Space them out. And then
Yeah.
yeah. And then yeah, the status the icons, they go all across the bottom.
Then yeah, that gives us tons of space.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can have lots,
But
and
I
you
could
make them a little
also
bigger too. Yeah.
could
Hmm.
probably even add color back into them if they're separated like
Hmm.
that, then
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of them, so having color as an option would probably help. But
Yeah. Color
yeah,
color to kind of denote if it's got to do with ranged,
yeah,
melee, crits, or whatever,
yeah,
Maybe even like positive and negative, right?
Well,
yeah, yeah.
Like all the red ones are negative effects, and all the green ones are positive effects or something.
Hmm.
right. Right. Okay. Like
Yeah,
you're on fire. You have okay, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, or you've been shrunk or something like that.
Yeah, grow, shrink. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. Yeah, we could probably actually make these bigger now. Transform.
yeah. So how many status effects do we have right now? We have 122 status effects.
Holy shit!
Some of
So
those are only used on enemies though. Like there's a ghost status effect that turns enemies into ghosts. That
Yeah.
you'd never get that. There is an icon for it, but you should never see it technically.
Ooh.
But like for example, there's a status effect for you getting swallowed by a boss. You get a special status effect for that. So we'll need like I don't know what that's gonna look like. Jock, that's
it's
your
gonna
job though.
gonna look like a stomach.
Yeah.
Futuristic UI artist we hope to
Mhm.
eventually hire.
Yeah.
I think yeah. There's one separate one for each food too, right?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't need
Well,
to be for each
the
food
foods
because like
give
they're
yeah.
broken down into groups. So like there's three foods that'll give you a bonus attack speed, and it's like level 1 bonus to attack speed, level 2 bonus to attack speed, level
Oh,
3
okay,
bonus to attack speed.
that's
So
good.
yeah, and they're not because like the way we set it up, it's related to the buff you get, not the food you eat. So like you
Mhm.
eat honey to get bonus movement speed, but the icon for that isn't honey.
Honey,
It's
you don't get
it's
the
it's
honey
like
icon
No,
it's like a
with
no,
a
foot with
little
some
D.
wings.
no, no, it's this fast forward icon. That's the
Mm,
fast
Nice.
forward. I think this is extra attack power. Yeah, I think we need extra ones for like you're on fire and the
yeah, and I guess that's
your
something else too. Like I don't know because honestly, there's different ways of doing the countdown that I had been kind of mulling over in my head.
Mhm,
Because like one idea would be okay, so we have the circle that we have like a circle that sort of like gradually disappears,
mhm.
and each one of those represents like a minute, and then we have a series of dots at the bottom or something like that, and each one of those dots represents a minute. So if there's like four dots and then a circle, the circle goes down once, and then one of the dots disappears, and then the circle goes down again, and then another dot disappears, and then it's
We
kind of
could
like,
Oh, I
really
see.
put a number. Like,
yeah,
it'd be
yeah,
easier just to put a number. Yeah, we have the space for it. Like, I mean, it's
yeah. Well, it's just yeah. Well, the thing is too, like, it's I want to try avoid having the number, so we'll only have it on status effects that are of a certain duration. Because
sure.
if the kind of gradient thing works is readable, then I'd rather use that than the number.
The other way to do it is the halo thing.
Hmm.
What they do for the halo bar was like, so they give you like, the energy ring, right? But
Hmm.
then it's like if you've got double the life, then you get the blue ring, and then you get the
Hmm.
green ring, and then you get like you can build up a language of
Hmm.
well, like we're trying to get the colors to mean something in this, so maybe not
Yeah.
colors, but we can
Well, that's
show
the other thing
different
is it's just
things.
also with the amount of space we have because there's also like there's other information in there too, like what level is the status effect. Sometimes we'll display that, sometimes we won't. So like when you get the food buffs, it's like we'll display the level because it's like, oh yeah, this is a level 3 haste that you have. That's why you're moving around so fast or something like that, right?
Okay.
So it's like the number. We need the level of the status effect and then also the duration. But like I said, I'd like to avoid having the timer on as many as possible and only put it on when it's like it's necessary to like, oh yeah, no, this is it, so people know it's a temporary thing and it's not, because we have ones that are like when you walk into the fire breather, it
Yeah.
knocks you back, so like you can create a wall of fire breathers, right?
Mhm.
But and you get a status effect when you get knocked back, but you just see like the little circle go around really fast. You don't see
Yeah.
any number for the duration.
1 second. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's no point in having a duration for that.
We could
And even
probably do something where if it's longer than a minute, we don't show you anything. It's just
yeah.
there. But as soon as you get to like the final, minute, then it does the timer. It
Oh,
does
that's
the
interesting.
it just leave it solid until you're in your final minute. Because like no one cares if you have 5 minutes left on something, right? Like
Yeah.
it's there.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. It's basically there
Even if
forever
yeah.
until it's not.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Five
like
minutes is forever.
pretty
Yeah.
much.
Hey,
It's
and
a
a
lot of
combat. It's like you ever
a lot
play a
of trick.
D&D combat? You ever have a D&D combat that lasted 50 rounds? I don't think so.
Yes. It's like 6 seconds a move, right?
Around,
Mhm.
yeah. And it's like 10 is a long combat, so that's a minute.
Hmm.
Yeah, cool.
10 is a very long combat. I don't know if I've had one that lasted more than like 5 rounds.
Mhm. You know what? I'm actually thinking just for the aesthetics of this, maybe I should
Yeah.
actually just because the health bar and this bar, they don't have to be this thick, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could even cut into this and shove this down.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is you don't always have the ultimates. Like,
No.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
You
think I
will
could
have
probably
block fairly early on,
yeah,
but
everyone
yeah,
gets
even that
blocked,
you
but
won't have.
you might not get all three of these, right? Like
No,
these might go
will if you're playing multiplayer, it's likely that you won't have all three of those because they'll be split up among the
likely,
players.
yeah, you likely only have one or two, right?
Yeah, and it's like the way this will be programmed is
Mhm.
it will fill from left to right. So regardless
Okay,
of which ones you have in what order, you'll get them from left to right.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to shrink this entire thing down. I'll
Yeah.
see what it looks like, but yeah, I mean, like the experience level up bar. I kind of wish that, like, because you have the level 20 here, but
Hmm.
it makes sense to have the level next to the portrait.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
But it's sort of weird that this is now detached. Maybe I should put the level bar underneath here. Move this level bar
Hmm.
here, and then yeah, move level bar there, and then shrink all this down. The gold is here. Yeah, okay,
Hmm.
I'll figure it. I'll rejig it a bit to make it work a bit better.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
good feedback for
Cool. Yeah.
theoretical UI that we don't have yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like because this is a tiny percent of the work that needs to go into the UI because this is just like the
Yeah,
Photoshop mockup. Then
yeah.
we'll need to export all of these assets one by one into individual things that we can import into Unreal, and then
I
I'll
mean,
need to
yeah,
reprogram the entire HUD to work
yeah,
with this layout basically.
yeah. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Well, it'll be worth it.
Yeah. Well, I think actually, trying to think of like the level up stuff. I don't think should be crazy hard because I
It's
already
pretty close
have.
to what we already have, right? Like it's
Yeah.
functionality. It's pretty close to what we have. You have it fading out around here. I'm just showing the entire thing smaller.
Yeah. Well, the thing is
Yeah,
too, what I have is an infinite loop.
yeah,
So if you keep hitting left, it'll cycle through back to the beginning.
yeah. So all you'd have to do is go to the left. You hit left, it'll just appear on this side again.
Well, what I do is like basically the up and down arrows stay in the same place, and everything else moves around it.
Mm, yeah, cool.
Yeah. But yeah, it shouldn't be hard to make that a lot bigger.
Yeah, a lot more
Mhm.
obnoxious. Cool. And yeah, status. I guess I'll have to make up 120 icons or whatever. How many icons we
Mhm.
have?
Yeah.
Uh,
100 icons.
Yeah.
yeah, but these are all like black and white. I literally take like
Mhm.
minutes for each of these to make,
Ugh,
right?
you guys need an intern.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I need like an art
Mhm.
intern or two. Probably actually need like a. That's the thing is like I'm looking at the weapons. If we do want to get all the weapons the way like in a perfect world, I would actually just hire some juniors in house
Mhm.
and just monitor over them. I've been trying to get some work done by freelancers and on Fiverr, and it's I think like having done this for the last 2 weeks, it'll just be easier having some people in house
Yeah.
in the same time zone or just even in the same building, same room.
In your basement?
Oh, well, I'll figure it out. Whatever.
What's Amelie doing? She was home today, wasn't she?
No, she's got daycare. I
Oh,
wish.
okay.
No, she's gonna become a vet like mom.
Okay.
Yeah, at least that's what I keep telling myself. Well, she's Korean, so she gets to be one of three things: doctor, lawyer, or engineer.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Do you guys want to call it for the stream?
Yeah, let's call it the stream.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good hour long stream. Good stuff.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.